That toy life. To catch these ghosts, you need the real Ghostbusters.
Nice landing, Han Solo.
Spaceships and Luke Skywalker sold separately. Batteries not included.
That toy life.
Do you hear that? Do you hear that eerie sound?
Ooh, it's a Oh my God! That was a
Killed him.
ghost. I think it's a ghost, like breaking in
wow.
from the other dimension.
Great.
Oh, there it is. Oh God.
He's back.
Whew.
Has anybody watched Squid Game yet?
No, I haven't.
Thing
I've
taking
heard,
the world by storm.
I've heard a lot about it. I just hadn't watched it yet.
It is solid. It's really good. Give that a shot. I mean, I was blasting Austin's phone about it as soon as I got like 2 episodes into. I was like, dude, good show. Check it out.
Really?
Yeah,
What is it?
Is it a show or a movie?
It's a show. It's a series. It's like 9 episodes.
Okay.
For the first, and it's. I don't want to say too much without giving it away, but basically, these people kind of that are all in like a financial dire straits of some sort. It's all in Korea, but they get offered to go into this game, and the game turns out to be a lot more than they bargained for. But if they win, basically they'll be left with enough money to not have to worry about any of their debts ever again. So it is a very critique on capitalism and stuff like that. It's very good and it's very interesting, about how far will you go, to not only save yourself but to get yourself out of financial, if you're in financial ruin, if you're in default and all that, it touches on a lot of stuff that a lot of people go through, but it's really good. So, it's dark, but it's good.
It's dark. It's Halloween themed.
Yes.
Ooh.
Yes.
Just like this episode.
Me and my wife, we just been watching a bunch of horror movies. Like we're finishing Child's Play 3 right now.
Have you started? Did you
Terrible.
start with the first one?
Yeah, we watched the remake first.
Oh,
And
yeah,
then
yeah,
we were
there's
like,
something
oh,
about
let's go
that,
back
yeah.
and watch the originals. And then we watched the first one, and then the
First
second
one's
one.
good. Yeah, first one's great.
Yeah, first
Second
one's decent. Yeah, I was gonna say the second one's like whatever. Third one has just been terrible, like terrible acting. And
Well, the
what's funny
funniest-
is I know all these people that are in it. I'm like, wow, I just can't see you in that character. Justin Whalen is like the strongest link in the whole thing, but it's like I'm like, okay, we know he's gonna be a strong TV actor.
But the funniest thing about him is that like he was cast as a kid Andy, and they filmed that movie about a year or two after Child's Play 2.
Right.
So they had to age him up, like they aged him like 5
Yeah,
years jump by.
he looks
so that
close to the kid. They did do a good casting choice. He looks
Yeah.
like him. Like I bought it,
Yeah.
but they're pretty
Well,
terrible.
That's when they started to really lean into the comedy, because I mean, that was the one where he killed the general by giving him a heart attack by the side of him. The general looks at Chucky, sees this living toy, and he just has a heart attack, and Chucky's going, "Oh man, you
Gotta
gotta
be
kidding
kidding me. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean,
No,
with
yeah, that was
bomb
the thing.
dropped
Is
in
the
there.
whole movie is him just popping up and doing one-liners. Like it would just
Yeah,
pop up and
it's-
like
Yeah. The first one
who
was where
wants
that
brownies? Bing!
Yeah, the first one was where that real magic was, and I don't think they really got back to it until Curse, I think. But
They
I
really
remember
got back
watching
to
that.
it.
Yeah, I remember Curse of Chucky when it came out. It was like
is
a
it?
directed.
Yeah,
you
yeah,
would say it was still in the direct DVD era.
Yeah,
like it was in the it was like
Because
2013.
you and me
14.
checked it out, like we watched it at the same time for the first time, like you got it on video on demand, and we checked it out, and yeah, that was one where they finally they leaned back toward the horror section of it. And,
Yeah, so you
instead
didn't
of it-
just see
yeah.
the doll walking around talking. It was like just crazy horror stuff was
You were
happening.
wondering-
and you
yeah,
were
you
like,
were
is this doll doing it?
Yeah,
And yeah, he doesn't.
they did a good
it was
job
way
of it,
more
yeah.
scarier.
Yeah.
For sure.
Yeah, I don't know about all that.
Yeah, I'm usually not a big horror movie fan, but with my wife, she's a big fan, so I'll try to watch it with her. I mean, I like slasher flicks. I like Halloween and Scream are my favorites.
Oh, really?
Like Scream, obviously, is my cup of tea because it was just
yeah.
the teenage angst, like
Well,
slasher
also,
film,
satire of
and
like,
it's a satire at the
slasher,
same
yeah.
time of a slasher film. And then they would have awesome soundtracks and good
Yeah.
score and cinematography. And I don't know, it was just like this movie that it was so meta. It was so meta that it was great.
Oh yeah, well, I mean, you probably all
Nightmare
know
was
this,
like that.
but Drew Barrymore with that movie, I think Wes originally asked her to be Sydney. I think
so.
he had her in mind, and then she read the script and she agreed to be in the movie, but she said she wanted to be instead the girl at the beginning who gets killed, because that was such a turn on what the audience would expect. Because I mean, it's Drew Barrymore; she's your top actress in this movie, you know, most famous one of your entire cast.
She's Hollywood's sweetheart at that time. Yeah,
and then she gets offed in the first 10 minutes of the film, and
Yes.
that was like everybody's like, whoa. Yeah,
you don't know what if you kill her in the first 10 minutes, it's like you don't know what's going to happen next.
Yeah, you don't know who's safe and
anything
who's not.
goes.
Yeah,
so that was a good move, because even I remember in the marketing, her face, I guess, is kind of in the poster, and then
she was,
and then on the tape, you remember in the tapes, it was always like she was in the forefront, like part of the cast, like we're an ensemble, and I'm like, you get killed like immediately. What's wrong?
You literally don't talk to any of these other characters.
Yeah, you don't even. Yeah, we don't even know if you know them.
I mean, and that becomes a staple too. Jada Pinkett Smith in the second one.
Her death was even worse. I think hers topped.
Hers was a weird commentary.
Terrible.
Hers was a sad commentary on how. Have you seen the Scream movies?
Yeah, but I just don't remember her being in.
She's the one that got killed in the theater, and everybody was just watching, and they didn't realize that she was really dying, and she's just like screaming to help, and they just think she's like part of the show.
Yeah, because it just happened to be the movie satire. It was
the stab movie with Heather Graham playing Drew Barrymore's
It was Inception.
character.
Leonardo DiCaprio was in this scene, and it was just like movie within a movie within a movie.
Yeah, I remember.
Yeah.
I remember. It's been a long time since I've seen the Scream movies. So
you need to do a watch through. The first 3 are on HBO Max. Fourth one is not. I'm not sure where you can watch 4.
Yeah, because I think the fourth one probably has something to do with the rights, because I'm sure it was probably Dimension along with some other people, so that's why they couldn't do it.
I find it very hard to watch horror movies now for whatever reason.
What's the main reason? Is it like just the campiness of it, or like you just don't find it like scary?
Like boredom? Or
no,
too scary.
Okay, no, I mean, I don't think they're too scary. So the last, like, outside of The Walking Dead, because I can put the horror stuff behind The Walking Dead. It's not really a horror show to me. That's more like a
human drama.
Yeah.
So
I watched the remake of The Hills Have Eyes. And dude, from that whole movie, I was like, I had to sit through it, right? Because I mean, it kind of kept you wanting to see what happens to these people. But man, I mean, and then you have kids on top of that, and it's like you start putting yourself in those people's shoes, and you see, like your kids' faces going through crap like that, and it's like,
that's why I wouldn't watch that movie.
Yeah, I'm like, I'm done with horror movies. This totally, turned me off.
Well, yeah, that movie, that Wrong Turn, this type of movies with, like, I don't know, that seems almost like it's more about let's see how brutal we can be in that. I do like a little bit more commentary or depth to my horror movies, especially now. Like, I can still enjoy like old school B slashers. Like, I can watch like Freddy movies, Jason movies.
I can do that. Yeah,
But I really get, like, especially these days, like with the new Halloween movies, I love like the themes that they go with. Like the newest one, the 2018 one, there was a big theme of like generational trauma, like what Lori had did to her daughter, and then in reaction to that, how her daughter had raised her daughter, and then her daughter's relationship with her grandmother. And it's really good themes, and I'm looking forward to how it continues. But I like that kind of like little depths that they'll put in movies now with horror and stuff like that.
Yeah, and like I said, I can go back. I can watch Friday the 13th. I can watch Nightmare on Elm Street, Hellraiser, whatever, all the stuff that I watched when I was growing up, and not be affected by it. But it seems like at that point when I saw that movie going forward, it seemed like everything tried to top it. Every horror movie that came out was like, let's go even further. So
I feel like all the cinematography started to get stupid too, because they would start doing the shaky cam stuff.
Mhm.
They're probably hitting the cams and shaking it and doing the real quick cuts and all that, and making everything dirty. Like everything's got to be dirty. Like it was almost like a Rob Zombie. Like everybody was trying to copy Rob Zombie's look at the time.
I was almost going to say like and also I would say a little bit from Eli Roth was an influence too on a lot of that stuff, because it was almost like, let's try and let's see how brutal, let's see how brutal we can get into the essence of humanity. Like, let's see how terrible people can actually be to each other. And those are a big turn off for me. Like, I've never really enjoyed any of the Eli Roth. I can respect him as a filmmaker, but I've never really enjoyed any of his films.
I'm way more. I've found that because I was never a big horror movie fanatic growing up, but I've found that as I've gotten older, the things I respect the most, I'm like the Tom Savini horror school. I love all the creature effects and stuff that. So if it's not slasher like Scream or Halloween, like those are my favorites, especially Halloween. I love Michael Myers and all that, but if it's even with that, he's got a mask on, and then Scream's got a mask. It's something about masks, and I think it has to do with like Muppets and Jim Henson and crap like that. But I just really dig the Tom Savini look, where he really got the gore going, and then you've got the the creature effects at the same time. So you've got this. I mean, when it's either it's just a humanoid creature, or like you got something growing out of you or something, or if it's totally like just an alien creature, it would just get crazy. Like you would start to see stuff like Gremlins, Critters, and just all that, even like Little Shop of Horrors, I would put that in that genre. It's just so it's crazy. It's supposed to be horror, but it's fun musical comedy at the same time. It's just I like taking, like, we're showing respect to the suits. What's funny is just recently me and my wife found a set of these monster movies on Blu-ray. It's like all the Universal monster movies. It's like Frankenstein. Cool. Yeah, it's Frankenstein, Dracula, Invisible Man, the Mummy. It's going to have The Creature from the Black Lagoon. That's the one I'm most excited to watch again. But it's got like a 3D version of it. So I'm going to get to watch it on my 3D TV and see how that looks. Like, that's going to be insane. I already like sampled it a little bit, and it looks crazy. Like, it's going to be some really cool 3D effects.
And you know how you should follow up watching all of those?
What's that?
The Monster Squad.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah, I probably will. That probably will be the perfect way to do it. So I'll probably get her to watch the Monster Squad with me afterwards. I found this set. It was like a real good deal on this set. Like, I found it secondhand, but it was in pristine condition and all these movies for a real good price. And I'm like, it's Halloween. It felt like it was a real cool chance to check it out. So I don't know. We'll see.
That's awesome. So in terms of Halloween and stuff like that, do any of y'all have any Halloween, themed toys that you like? I know Austin likes to decorate for Halloween. I'd love to decorate if I gave myself the time to do it, but
ever since I was at a friend's house one time, and they had a roommate that had some of those like McFarlane toy. There's like the Halloween or the horror movie McFarlane toys. I think it was like Jason, Ghostface Killer, and I feel like there was somebody else, maybe Edward Scissorhands, but it was all, I think it was McFarlane toys, but man, they just look so good. And I always thought in the back of my head that, one day if I ever do Halloween decorations, it'd be cool to use actual like horror themed toys and decorations. So yeah, like my wife, she loves that. She's got the Halloween, like the Michael Myers set, and she's got the, all that stuff, the Nightmare Before Christmas. Yeah. So I mean, we just.
Oh yeah. I'm looking it up real quick. I'm just seeing what horror stuff McFarlane's done. So yeah, he's done a good number of stuff. I see Texas Chainsaw Massacre. It's a Leatherface from looks like the first movie. Candyman.
Yeah.
That's one I still need to watch. It's been so long. I need to go back and actually watch the first Candyman again before I watch the new one.
Yeah. I used to love that movie. That was so creepy.
Yeah, Candyman. I haven't seen the remake.
No, I haven't either.
Well, it's not technically a remake. It is actually a continuation of the very first movie. Like,
is it? So it's a sequel?
Yeah, kind of like almost like Halloween 2018. Like it's got a lot of connections to the very first movie.
So it's got Tony Todd in it.
Yeah, I think so. He was officially listed as a cast, but also like the main character, the guy, oh God, I always forget his name, but the guy played like Black Manta in Aquaman. Yeah, the main character. He's the main character in this one.
Yahya Mateen.
Yeah, Abdul Mateen, I think.
Yeah.
His character was one of the main characters, baby in the very first movie. So you see him as an infant in the very first movie. So this is him grown up. Yeah, Michael Myers.
That Michael Myers.
God, I remember back in the day before I ever watched the first Halloween, how I think
That's what I wish I could find right there.
That is epic right there, man.
they would promote these big like movie sets. Do you remember in Statesboro the electronics kind of like marketplace we had in the mall called it used to be called On Cue before it was called Sam Goody.
Mm-hmm. Oh, I mean, I don't remember yours specifically, but I remember
But I remember that stores. Yeah, they had all that stuff.
Yeah.
So I remember they were promoting Halloween, and I'm guessing maybe it was like a 20th anniversary version. So this would have been around 97, 98. And basically it was like a cool little set where it was the VHS, and then also included in this box, there was like a snow globe. And it was of the scene where Michael is attacking Laurie in the living room. So he's like leaping over the couch at her, and she's like hiding behind the couch.
I vaguely remember that.
Yeah.
This one here.
Yeah, that's the one. That's the snow globe. Yeah. I remember that set. And this is before I ever saw the movie. So that just like that image just terrified me as a kid. I was like, oh no, this movie's gonna be too much for me to handle.
Is that the box there?
Yep, that's the exact one.
Yeah, see that? Yeah, it is some crazy stuff.
Yeah. Man.
I always loved growing up, like all the Halloween movies. Like I mean, I like the Halloween Michael Myers because it freaked me out because the dude with the mask and everything just freaked me out. But I liked like Ernest Scared Stupid and Hocus Pocus were like two favorites. I just love those Halloween style movies.
Guys, it's so long since I've watched Ernest Scared Stupid. I need to watch that again.
Ernest was he had a favorite Christmas movie of mine, favorite camping movie, favorite going to jail movie.
Hey, nothing beats jail movies. Nothing beats the pin scene in the courtroom. Please tell me you remember the pin scene.
Yes,
he breaks the ink
busts ink all over, and then he eats. He's like wiping it up with the paper, and he eats the paper.
That's a classic. That's a classic film scene.
Yeah.
Nobody will be like.
Christopher Nolan could take some notes from that scene. If he ever wanted to go into comedy, he should just study that scene in particular. It's like this is where I'm going to go next. We're going to do Honest, and he's going back to jail.
I remember I actually I read a book on Jim Varney. It's like I read a book. It was like a biography that I think his nephew wrote on him. I also watched. There was like an interview where Billy Bob Thornton was talking. He kind of brought him up in some stories, and it was so funny. He's talking about they talk about how great, like Jim Varney was just a real good person. Like he always wanted to have this wholesome image, and he, to the point where he didn't want to be I don't think he wanted to be photographed or filmed smoking a cigarette. Like he smoked, but he didn't want to be photographed or filmed doing it because he didn't want kids to see him do it.
Yeah.
But he did go out at night. He would go out like and party and stuff. And they would talk. And Billy Bob Thornton talked about Jim Varney being like he would be the one taking home like women at the end of the night. Like he would have 2, 3, 4 women. Yeah, Ernest. Yeah, he was. Yeah, Ernest. And I was like, man, I grew up I worshipped Ernest growing up, and I'm like, I couldn't imagine Jim Varney like this guy, like, hey, baby, and he loved jewelry. He loved like wearing expensive watches and. So he was more like he was more like the villain he was in Three Ninjas Hiding on Mega Mountain. He was more like that character. Yeah, pretty much.
In real life.
I always imagine him his. It's funny because other than Ernest, I always picture him like he is in Beverly Hillbillies. You remember that movie?
Oh yeah.
That was just to me. I mean, the thing is people. I'm sure that movie gets lost in time. I would like to sit and talk with Diedrich Bader about that movie, but I loved it for the fact that it really paid homage to the original show, but it felt like it was a really down-home country movie. And Jim Varney was so believable in that movie as like a Southern, like just to hit that character, that Southern, daddy from the hill, from the Hillbillies or whatever. He was hilarious, but what's funny is he reminds me a lot of my wife's daddy. Like they look and talk alike, and it's just so funny. I'm like, oh my gosh. you're
And we
bad.
hope you're listening, sir.
Oh yeah. He probably I can hear him just laughing about it, but it's just so funny. Like, I mean, not the like, oh no, dumb stuff. But I mean, like, he just reminds me of that guy.
Do that again. That's
I don't even know what that is.
God, did they ever make Ernest action figures?
I wish.
They
NECA.
made a
I mean, they did the
big
Ernest doll.
doll.
Yeah, the
yeah,
Ernest.
yeah,
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 I remember the doll. But no, they do need to make like NECA or McFarlane needs to do
Ernest.
Ernest. I mean, it sounds like something NECA would do, like an Ultimate Ernest figure.
Yeah, that sounds up Nick's alley.
Ultimate.
To get
it
more
would
of
be
these
Ultimate
kind
Ernest
of
P. Worrell.
get a little bit of these more obscure characters and put them
Okay,
out.
so-
Yeah,
How did we
Oh,
go
hey,
from Halloween to Ernest?
Right.
Ernest scared stupid. Ernest scared
stupid.
Hey, speaking of NECA, do you want to go ahead, Ray, and reveal like our finds for the week? I didn't know if you wanted to.
Yeah, we can do some hauls.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So like, yeah, Ray hit me up and was like, or he had told me he had a lead on a figure I was looking for because I wanted
Oh yeah, we'll start with that because I have two things. Yeah. So Austin, you have the Michael Myers from the 2018 movie, and you
I was going to say I wanted that, and my wife was really. I wanted it, but my wife really wants like the Laurie Strode figure for sure. Like she's been looking for it,
and I found her. We have like two of them. I'm going to try to go back and get the second one soon. But
that looks so good.
It's a great figure. Man.
Yeah, no, that is a really good figure.
And that's
like
from
I said, like
new one.
The new one.
Up?
Yeah. I think this is my favorite part of this, like pump action shotgun that comes with it. Oh man, it looks.
Yeah, NECA does a good job on their weapons. Like my Terminator figures, they have real good weapons.
So so we're gonna swap that eventually once we meet up. And the other thing I got, this finally came in a day early. Came in Sunday when it was supposed to come in Monday apparently. But my tumbler.
Oh yes. Yeah, dude,
It's a
I
thick box,
can't wait
too.
till you. Yeah, I was gonna say I can't wait for you to build that. I want to see how that turns out.
Yeah.
But I was gonna say, like right after he found that and told me about that, I happened to go into a Walmart and found like one of these sitting on the shelf, and I'm like, oh my god, like the ultimate Casey Jones.
Oh
and it's
man,
basically like similar to the one I have. I mean, it's basically the same figure, but they include in this one they include a
different
loose mask and a different head.
And the head, yeah.
But everything else is the same. You get all the same accessories, which is really cool. You get, like cool art there. But you get this cool figure.
Man. That looks gorgeous.
Yeah. No, it's a really nice figure. I mean,
can't
so
wait.
like the face sculpt, actually, like looking at it up close, like the face sculpt on this actually looks really good. I hope they do an April figure like wide like this thing, like for Walmart and wherever,
Yeah, how was
like
hers sold? Was hers like a really low like quantity that they
I feel
made
like
of
it
her?
was. I feel like they probably just wanted to do something like as a special release first, and then they'll probably end up putting out a like a full set. I really do hope they give like a vinyl, like yellow, like the yellow rain jacket or something that. I would love to see them include that.
Well, I mean, McFarlane's actually one thing that they announced this week was that. Well, actually, before we go into that, did you have anything else to show, Austin, or did you have anything to show, Ashley?
Yeah, I got one thing.
Ooh, what did you get?
I just got dead shot.
Dead shot?
Bloodshot Warner Brothers. Yep. I just got
Bloodshot. Bloodsport. That's Vin Diesel.
Do you have everybody now?
No, I still need Polka Dot Man and
Peacemaker.
I want Polka Dot Man so bad. I really do.
He's great. Yeah, it's a good one.
He was my favorite character.
Well, the crazy thing is, he's got an actual removable goggles. Like,
really? So,
but they couldn't do that for Batman.
I don't understand that. Why do they do that? That's just weird.
Yeah,
I guess they just made it that way with Polka Dot Man because they figures like, well, if he sells, he sells. If he doesn't, he doesn't.
Batman's
some money.
I'm missing 4 figures like to be called up. I'm missing Polka Dot Man and Peacemaker, but also Justice League Batman and Steppenwolf. because I actually saw the maskless Batman
Mhm.
at a store the other day for $24, and I almost bought him, but I was like, nah, I'm gonna hold out. I'm gonna try to find the one with the mask. I don't care if it's goggles up or goggles down. I
Yeah.
just want the mask and not that ugly head.
Hey,
You know.
one thing about I thought I saw a leak somewhere where they might be putting out a BVS Batman at some point soon.
Oh, really?
Like with the original, like the suit I love. I'd love to find that if they'd make that. You know.
Dude, I've seen the information that for the next few waves, and it's like, slow down. I mean, literally, he's putting out like figures every other week, it seems.
Didn't we
I mean-
didn't we say that they were going to be doing like Batman Forever figures or something like that?
I think
That
so.
was, that was
Or
sort
was
of.
that another company? I know we saw like the big Sonar suit, but I'm not sure if that was McFarlane. That might be somebody else that I remember a Sonar suit coming out.
Yeah, I'm not sure on that one. I'm just not sure. I'm trying to go back and look right now. It's just like the release schedule. Well, there's no real release schedule, but like the list
Mhm.
of everything that's been rumored, because there's a guy who usually keeps up with that in our Facebook group, and I mean he keeps posting all the time because apparently he has some overseas guy who
Mhm.
freely gives up because they get the SKUs and all that stuff, and he just, here you go, here's what's coming soon.
He's got
Yeah.
a leak. He's got a source.
So 4 hours ago he posted there's going to be a Dark Knight Returns wave.
Again,
Yeah,
Like-
so you get Batman, Carrie Kelly Robin, Superman, the Joker, but this has a Build-A-Figure, and the Build-A-Figure is the black horse that Batman rides.
for a second I thought you were going to say the Joker.
No, so that's pretty cool. I mean, I never had a Build-A-Figure horse before.
And that seems like a thing they've been doing though for some of these Batman Build-A-Figures, just making vehicles.
Yeah.
Like they made I think his bike was a Build-A-Figure, and I think there was one for like a version of his like a small Build-A-Figure of the Batmobile, one of the Batmobiles.
Yeah, but I'm assuming this horse is like in scale,
For they actually ride on.
so Batman can actually, ride on this thing. I'm trying to see if there's anything else this guy's posted. So he's posted. Oh my gosh! So there's also from the upcoming The Batman. Robert Pattinson. So you got Batman, Catwoman, the Riddler, another version of Batman. You got the Gotham Knights figures from the upcoming video game.
Mm-hmm.
Some Batman Beyond figure. I don't know who that is. Oh God, an Aquaman figure, like comic accurate. Some other Greg Capullo looking Batman, General Zod, Martian Manhunter, a weird Superman looking thing. New 52 Joker. Of course, you got to have more Jokers.
There's like a couple New 52 Jokers. They talking about like the tear my face off Joker. They talking about the
tear my face off Joker.
Okay.
Couple of new mega figs. The Joker from Arkham Asylum when he gets all, takes them the
Titan Joker.
Yep. Swamp Thing is going to be a mega fig.
Of course.
Clayface. I don't know if he's going to be mega fig or not. A comic accurate John Stewart Green Lantern, comic Black Adam, Batman from what's that thing called? Enzur. What is it? Enzur.
Insabanur.
Yeah, whatever that thing is.
I think that's
red, purple, and yellow suit.
No, Insabanur is the Apocalypse's real name, I think. No,
I was wrong on that. Oh God, okay.
Nope, nope. We're crossing
the streams here. Then they got some more 66 Batman figures: Catwoman, Riddler, Penguin, Arkham Knight from the Arkham Knight games.
Yeah,
Godspeed, I think, from the Flash. I think, yeah. So some more Injustice figures, Green Arrow,
That'd be
Reverse
pretty
Flash.
cool.
Yeah.
I could get a Green Arrow one. Yeah, I could go for that.
And I think that's it. And as far in Austin, while we're talking about it, you like the Disney figures, right?
Mhm.
So they have a variant for oh God, Monsters Inc., dude.
Oh, Sully.
So
Yeah.
Mike
They have a
Wazowski.
variant for him. They got the
He was he was a good looking figure. I got to get him at some point.
they got the genie coming out from Aladdin.
That's what I can't wait to see.
A Donald Duck figure. It looks like a variant of Jack Black, or not Jack Black. Jack.
I was going to
Sparrow.
mention, by the way, this Batman Forever that came out with from DC Multiverse
Oh yeah.
really sucked. I really wanted this to be good, and it sucked.
Did you get it or
yes.
something?
No, I didn't. I've seen it up close.
Yeah,
It
I
was,
mean,
you know,
I
it was a
remember
pretty
seeing
big
it in the
figure, but-
stores. Yeah.
Yeah, it just
Look how much
just
it
didn't
costs
look
right
good.
there. How much does it cost?
$62.50.
Yeah, he's going up in price. And that freaking 90s Flash figure.
Yeah, I was about to say
That's
that-
what I wanted. That
that
90s
kills me
Flash.
inside that I saw that, like, and I just didn't get it. Oh, it still kills me. Live and
That
learn.
is- So that's crazy. And I'm sorry, I just saw your
What was
private
the?
chat.
But what was the? No, what was the? You just brought up. Oh, the Disney.
Yeah.
What was it? McFarlane.
It's on Facebook. So
Disney
you can't see it, Austin.
multiverse. Or
It's in a
something.
Facebook
no.
group.
Oh no, I'm excluded from the Facebook club.
Yeah.
What will I do?
You and Donald Trump.
You're in good
What
company.
will we do? Oh no.
But no, there was a Donald that looks sort of like the Final Fantasy Donald Duck, and then there was a what's the big dude from Tailspin?
Launchpad.
Blue.
Plane?
Baloo.
Baloo, yeah.
Oh wait, I was thinking of DuckTales.
Yeah. So there's one coming of him too.
Oh man. Oh, Tailspin, man. I remember that. That was a good one. Oh, nostalgia.
So PlayStation had this the PSN had this little Disney game thing combo for sale. It was like $4.99, and it had like the Nintendo game versions of DuckTales, DuckTales 2, Tailspin, Chippendale something, and
I think
Chippendale
Austin had some of
2.
those. Did you get the whole set, or didn't you have a couple?
Yeah, I've
of
got
them?
the whole set. Just
Yeah.
I don't have. They never came out with Monterey. I want to get. If they would put him out as a Funko figure, that would be perfect.
And my wife just finished going through that whole thing, beating everything, trophying them all up.
Oh,
Every
talking
single
about
game.
playing the games, the
Yeah.
Nintendo
Yeah.
games. Yeah, I've
Yeah.
got them. I need to play them through my. I've got the Disney Afternoon Cartoons series or whatever.
I think that might be in it.
Yeah,
that
that-
might be in
yeah,
it. It's like
yeah,
a
that's
combo pack or something.
Yeah, those were the best, man. That and DuckTales, those were really good Nintendo games.
Man. So, what are we doing for Halloween this year?
I don't know. We've been watching a lot of movies. I want to knock out more movies. Like we've been watching we've watched Child's Play. We've watched. I know we're gonna watch. I want to watch Critters. Watch Gremlins. We've watched Halloween.
Gremlins is a Christmas movie.
No, Gremlins 2. Excuse me. Let me clarify
Hmm.
on that. We watched
All right.
Gremlins 2.
Here's
That's a good Halloween one.
Yeah.
That's it. For whatever reason, the second one's a good Halloween movie. The first one's a good Christmas movie.
Here's a good one. Have either of you seen the 1980s Blob?
No,
I've probably seen it when it came on like Showtime or something, and I
Good.
don't remember much of it.
You know what's great about it? Go back, if you ever get a chance, go back and watch it. It's really solid, and you won't believe who wrote it. Frank Darabont.
oh, did he?
He
Really?
wrote the screenplay for it. Yep.
Who was
And
in
it
that?
makes-
Was Dennis Quaid in that or somebody? Who was in that?
No, but he had the Kevin Dillon, Shawnee Smith. She's a scream queen. From that movie. She. After that in the Saw movies. And also the guy who played Dale in The Walking Dead. Jeffrey DeMunn. He's in it too. He plays like the sheriff of the town. It's a
we
great
watched-
cast.
Yeah, me and Candy watched the movie The Mist. That
Mhm.
Frank Darabont did with a lot of those people. That movie was messed up. I mean, just crazy. I don't want to watch that movie ever again.
It's got all the hallmarks of Stephen King though. Like all this, whenever stuff goes to crap, there's always going to be somebody that's going to use religion to go nuts, and they're going to get a bunch of people to follow them to do nuts stuff to other people that don't believe enough.
Pretty much.
What happened? I'm sorry, I was doing something else. What are we talking about?
We were just talking about The Mist and how
The
Stephen
Mist.
King hates
Never seen The
Stephen
Mist.
King tropes and stuff.
So while I was gone, I was thinking, like, what's your favorite? Because I had to go Google up something so I can
Okay.
answer this. What's the movie that's creeped you out the most?
I've got two of them for sure.
And it could be like at a time when like you were a kid. So
So it
I
doesn't
mean,
have to creep
something
us
that
out
doesn't
still.
creep you out now, but like when you were a kid,
You can still
it creeped
appreciate
you
it,
out.
maybe. Okay,
Well,
yeah.
not even that. Just
Got
when you were a
three of
kid, the
When I
movie
was a
that
kid.
creeped you out the most as a kid. How about that?
I think I might have talked about this last year around Halloween. Because I think I might have brought it up myself. But the first Child's Play, actually, all the like at our old movie store, movies to go, we had like in the back section, there's like a horror, like 3 walls, like this 3-wall section, like 2, and then the back wall, like horror movies.
Mm-hmm.
And it's like a bravery thing for me to do as a kid. I try to go back there and see which of them I could look at and like see how long I could like be in there, because the scariest one to me was the Child's Play covers. The
Really?
first one, the first one where like he's got the crazy face and he's got like the burn mark from when I found out later on, for me, we got the cigarette lighter put in his face and then there's the second Child's Play cover where he's like snipping the Jack in the Box head, and the third one's just the close up of the face. Those terrified me as a kid. It took forever for me to build up like the courage to actually watch one of the movies, and then finally watched it. Wasn't so bad after, that was a thing for me. Like it was like a courage test for me to get through any of them. And then after I finally watched them, it wasn't so bad. Like the Halloween movies, they were just the same. Like I remember my sister like watching In Terror with her friends, watching the 4th movie, and I was like trying to sneak in from the back, see how long I could like watch from the back, and then all of a sudden it'd get too intense. I'd have to run out of the room.
Oh, really?
I was a wimpy kid back before like I was even 10 about horror movies. But once I really embraced them, I'd say like it took me until like maybe I got around 13, 14. That's how I was able to really just start to not be as scared and appreciate them better, and just have more fun watching them instead of just being like scared like somehow I was gonna die from just watching it.
Oh no, I think my parents probably thought something was wrong with me, like I was really gonna have a problem, because I was, when we go to the grocery store, I'd be getting Fangoria magazines. I mean, even at like, I remember in kindergarten wanting to watch like some of the Friday 13th movies, and I'd have to like go spend the night with a buddy just so I could watch it, watch those movies. And I was just so like, I love horror movies. And I'm thinking back, man, I was a weird kid, at that age,
Man,
It was
I wish
weird.
I
When I was coming up, my parents didn't really care much about like what I watched. I don't know. I was just kind of like real good at like moderating my own stuff. Like, I mean, if I didn't want to watch it, I didn't watch it. And I wanted to watch it, they just didn't really object. I just remember like not understanding that kind of stuff until I was at a relative's house, and and they rented Jason Goes to Hell. And I mean, I knew it was like, it sounds like, oh man, this is going to be hardcore. Like, can't wait to see what this is all about.
Yeah.
Because I didn't normally watch these kind of movies, but with a crowd, it was like going to be like a party. And I just remember it got to the guy, I think, eating the heart or something like that, or the brain or something.
Heart. It was a heart.
Yeah, it was a heart. I just remember him eating that, and like, it was like one of the parents shut it down. They're like, no, we're not watching this. Y'all are too young to be watching this. And I'm like, oh,
at least that was the
Yeah,
moment
I
they
never-
cut it off, instead of the moment later on where he like kidnaps the sheriff and has him strapped down butt naked, and he starts like shaving him to prepare him for like consuming the next worm. Just imagine his kids like watching, like, what's on the table like that, Mom?
I remember I actually went to the theater to see that one.
Oh, do you regret it?
Nah, my mom took like me and my sister to the theater, and I think they went to watch some movie, and I was like, I'm gonna go watch this one. she let me, so whatever.
Yeah.
But so that was what movie really creeped you out, Austin?
Me?
Yeah.
If it something that really freaked me out was two for sure. There's a movie called Halloween that my brother would watch. Oh, not Halloween, Trick or Treat. That my brother would
It's like,
watch. I don't know why I said
Halloween?
Halloween. Strike that. Trick or Treat. It was called Trick or Treat, and it was
But
like
this isn't the same. This isn't the same one from 2007, is it?
No.
Okay,
This is
yeah.
from the 80s. It was like a metal rock star that
I think I know what you're
dies
talking
or
about.
I know what
something.
you're
You know?
talking about.
Yeah,
He
yeah.
dies and then comes back. He comes back to life through the music or whatever, and is killing
Yeah.
people.
Yeah.
Mhm.
And it was just a odd movie, but for whatever reason, when it took that twist where he dies and comes back like as a ghost, it was just so creepy and scary. It was one of those just like where you'd be like, you hide behind something and be like, what's going on? Like it just for whatever reason that movie freaked me out. And this movie called Silent Rage with Chuck Norris, and it was where they it was this guy. It was so weird that this movie freaked me out. But the killer, this guy, was just unstoppable. He was killing all these people, and he just had this look in his face, just like a he just didn't care.
Mommy, I'm scared.
Yeah, this guy doesn't he's just like no emotion. He's just killing people.
He's just being a white man.
Yeah, no, it freaked me out for whatever reason. It was just like I think it was because they couldn't stop him. Like they would shoot him, they'd beat him, and he would just keep coming and he would kill people. And then the only person that could fight him was Chuck Norris. And even Chuck Norris didn't kill him. He just was able to kick him into a well. And then at the end of it, he comes up out of it. At the end of it, he just explodes up out of it. And then it's the end of the movie. And I thought that was the freakiest thing because I'm like, he's gonna keep killing people. They won't cut his head off. He's just gonna keep.
I've never
going.
seen this movie. I'm gonna have to look it up now.
Oh man! In the same vein, there was another movie from the '80s that freaked me out as a kid. It wasn't as much of a. It was a horror movie. It was called The Hitcher. It had Rutger Hauer and C. Thomas Howell.
And Jennifer
It
Jason
just
Leigh.
freaked me out because this dude was one of those unprovoked sort of like this guy was just coming after him and wouldn't stop, and then he got this innocent girl involved, and then she gets pulled apart, like she gets killed. She gets that
Jennifer Jason Leigh. Yeah, it's crazy.
that freaked me out as a kid, like because it was one of those like a real world consequence kind of things where you're like, what if that really happened? What if I was in that situation and made the decisions that dude made and got her killed when I could have possibly saved her? I don't know. It was just one of those freaky movies, kind of like how that movie The Strangers recently makes me feel. It's like an unprovoked, just terroristic attack that could totally happen, and it freaks you out because there's no rhyme or reason unless you start peeling back the layers. If there's anything like that.
Hey, if that were to happen though, at least hope that it's like the Strangers Come at Night, because at least then you can have some cool '80s music going on while it's happening.
Oh my God, is that how it is? I've never seen that.
It's great. It's great. Like I enjoy the movie. It's great, but it's one of the cool things is like some of the horror sequences will be set to the tune of like old '80s songs, and it's very eerie how it plays. It's really good. And you should check it out. It's like still on Netflix right now. It's like 90 minutes, quick watch. It's a good Halloween watch.
Yeah, I had to check it out. I've just always been one of those people that's like the real, like some of those movies that just touch you the wrong way just would get me. But other than that, like I can't, to this day, I get so sick and tired of seeing these psychological movies or the ones like The Exorcist. Like I like the original Exorcist, but I don't care about, because there's been a million Exorcist movies after that. Like all the Conjuring movies are pretty much the same. Like the first Conjuring, okay, but like every one of my watch, it's always somebody that's being possessed or some spirit, and there's something in the house, and they're just doing all these weird positions and demonic, and then they start and then getting all the spirits out of them, and it's all the same movie over and over.
On that point, though, about your wondering, about them, these Exorcist type movies being all the same, I would say Exorcist 3 does not follow that formula. Actually, it actually follows more into like a detective thriller because it's more about him following this old serial killer, and the serial killer turned out to, I think, maybe was possessed by the same demon in the past that possessed Reagan in the first Exorcist movie. So it's like a continuation, but it doesn't play on the old like, oh yeah, this this person's possessed inside a house, so it's just gonna be this whole psychological thing. It's more, I mean, it's still psychological, but yeah, it seems like it's more of like a detective noir story than just horror like the first one.
Remember that movie Repossessed with Leslie Nielsen?
Leslie
Yeah,
Nielsen
that's what I was
and
thinking
Linda
about.
Blair.
That was a good movie.
I just remember. I think that was the first time I ever
She projectile vomited it.
I think that was one of the first movies I remember where there was a joke and it was so on the nose where I just had to go, really? And there was the moment where she was being introduced and she introduced herself by saying, she was telling her kids like, yeah, tonight we're having split pea soup.
yeah.
It's like,
that.
huh? But
So what? Nothing freaked you out,
Huh?
Ashley? I said nothing freaked you out.
No, as a kid, yes, there's this movie. So I don't remember. I don't know if y'all remember this or if
The
you're
Crying
old
Game?
enough. No, I don't think y'all had the USA Network growing up, did you?
I had a little bit
I
of
remember it.
Like when I
Okay.
was older, when I was like becoming a teenager.
Oh, well, no. Okay, so before that, maybe early to mid, maybe late 80s, there was a show called Commander USA, I believe. And he had on this, cheap looking superhero outfit. And it would come on Saturday nights. And basically, he would just show a horror movie, and in between, he'd go to commercial and he'd do these little joke bits and stuff like that. But that's not the point. The point is he showed this movie one night. It was called The Children. It's from 1980. This thing creeped me out so bad. So it's about like this, something happens, a chemical gas leak or something. The truck turns over, spills something, gets all in the air. And like, you see this school bus with all these little kids on, like kindergartner to 5th grade.
Mhm.
And they ride through this mist of whatever chemical that got spilled out. So then it's just a matter of the kids killing everybody throughout the rest of the movie, like their parents and everything. And all they have to do is like hug them. Mommy, they come to the door, mommy, and and the parents would come to them and they'd hug them, and then they just start turning to like their faces would melt away and stuff like that, because it's like they're burning them. And the only way to stop the kids was to chop their hands off.
Jesus. Oh,
Yeah.
God.
So, dude, that movie freaked me
Hardcore.
out. I had nightmares about it. I mean, even to this day, I still will catch myself dreaming about that crap sometimes.
So were the kids purposely killing people, or were they inadvertently killing people?
No, I guess when they went, no, they did. They purposely did it. They were
Okay.
They were hunting down
Because
everybody.
the whole like hugging them sounds more kind of like the King Midas, stuff like, "Oh, mommy, I love you." Oh no, you did.
No, when they do it, they were smile. So I'm gonna put a link to it here, just a private message, just a trailer, so you can kind of get an idea of what it is. And I looked at that trailer and I was like, oh my God, this is so cheesy. When I look at it now, but I mean, it was like, it scared the mess out of me when I was little.
Oh, yeah, Killer Kid movies, man. You write a thesis paper on all of them. Like, I remember there's the big Children of the Damned. Do you remember that?
Yeah,
Christopher Reeve, Kirstie Alley, Mark
yeah.
Hamill as a priest.
Yeah, I remember that. That redheaded kid.
Oh
no, I'm
the
thinking
girl.
Children of the Corn. I'm thinking Children of the Corn.
Well, I mean, there was a little I think it was a direct-to-video horror movie. I think it was called Daddy's Little Girl. It was basically like a little girl who loved her dad so much that she was killing anyone that was messing up her relationship with her dad.
Wow.
Like she killed her grandma. I think she killed her therapist. So it's like she's killing people left, right. Tried to kill her stepmom.
Don't mess with this girl.
Yeah, and then the Children of the Corn, obviously.
Yeah,
Mount Malachi.
Malachi.
Did y'all ever watch Tales from the Crypt?
Yep.
Yeah.
That was a good show. I remember the episode that stuck out the most from when I was a kid was the ventriloquist dummy from season 2. And it had Bobcat Goldthwait and Don Rickles in it. I just remember that episode being real good. But I didn't know, look, Dick Donner directed it and Frank Darabont wrote it.
Huh.
Yeah.
See, Tales from the Crypt, I remember 2 episodes, and because sometimes my parents, when we go visit my grandpa, he had HBO, so sometimes like my parents stay up late, and my sister and I, we might go down there while they're still watching some like late night TV, and they might be watching Tales from the Crypt, and I try to go down there and see if I could like stay all the way through it. And I remember 2 episodes specifically that played. It was the one with the funeral director who cut the kid's feet off because he couldn't fit in the coffin. Do you remember that? And then the kid came back as a ghost without feet. You remember that?
I don't remember that. That sounds creepy though.
Yeah, it was creepy. And then there's the other one, which was like, I think these paranormal investigators, something like that. They went and investigate this house, and there's this little freaky weird faced girl that was killing them or something like that. But I remember specifically it was what's her name was one of the, like, I think she's the caretaker of the girl in the end, was revealed, but it was the squat little lady from the ghost movie we talked about it the other day, Austin, the Steven Spielberg's ghost movie, Poltergeist.
Oh yeah,
Poltergeist.
What was that little girl's name with that woman's face with the very, very weird voice? You know,
I know who you're talking about, but she was always in the
that.
commercials and stuff.
Zelda something. Yeah, Zelda something. Zelda Rubinstein, maybe.
We're about to find out.
Zelda Rubinstein. Zelda Rubinstein.
Zelda Rubinstein. Yeah,
she was in it. Yeah, she was in that episode, and yeah, I remember that was the first time I think I ever saw her because her voice stood out to me so distinctly. So every time I heard her afterwards, I was like, "Oh, she's from that episode that really scared me." But yeah, Tales from the Crypt. Yeah, that one. That was a show that creeped me out as a kid, and then going back, you know, I can watch and appreciate it, and even kind of like look. I was like, man, was this what was scaring me?
Yeah, really, I know.
I mean, they're fun. They're fun episodes, you know, a lot, you know, comeuppance and stuff like that for people who are, you know, terrible in one way or another, or just like they didn't learn their lesson.
Yeah.
You know,
I always thought Goosebumps was just like growing up. That was the best source of horror for me. I think that's probably what.
It's almost like Tales from the Crypt Light. Yeah.
Yeah. That was probably what got me like on the horror, like anything horror driven was probably just quenched with that. I mean, because that was some good books. I mean, they just had a lot of different cool stories, but yeah, it was basically Tales from the Crypt for kids.
Yeah. And then when you became a teenager and the Goosebumps got a little too kiddie for you, R.L. Stine was waiting for you with Fear Street.
Yeah, that was.
I do want to see that.
Yeah.
What did you say? What did you say?
I said I'm sleepy. Yeah, I do want to see those Fear Street movies. I hear they're really good.
Yeah. They have their weaknesses on their own, but yeah, as a whole, it's a really good little like whole storyline. I'd almost treat it like a big like 3-part miniseries almost. But yeah, horror movies. Are there so you have Michael Myers? Are there any like horror icons that you would love to have like a figure of besides Michael Myers? Either of you?
I mean, I like Edward Scissorhands. I don't know if you would consider him a horror icon, but I would just love to have a statue or a detailed figure of him. He just always looked really cool. Like Tim Burton's design, it's kind of like that, and the Catwoman outfit's totally a Tim Burton design. I really like it. But horror wise, maybe like a friend of mine had a Swamp Thing figure that looked really good, but I would say maybe like a Creature from the Black Lagoon statue or figure. Which I think NECA's been putting out some Universal monster figures like Frankenstein and stuff, and those always look good. Oh yeah, and then like the monsters and stuff. I love the monsters and Addams Family designs.
Hey, what about you, Ashley?
Yeah, I can't think of anything. I mean, I'm looking back. I wish that we got a Swamp Thing movie figure, like from the, what was it, the 1980 movie Swamp Thing?
Oh yeah,
81.
God, I saw the trailer to that recently.
Oh,
it's just so ridiculous.
Who was the played him? Was it Ray Wise?
No, Dick something.
Dick Dirk.
Dick Dirk.
He sounds like a Clive Cussler character.
Yeah,
Dirk
what was
Pitt.
that guy's
Dick-
name?
Dick
Dick
Durock.
Durock. Yeah.
Yeah.
Dick
I just
Durock.
remember
Thinking of-
Adrian Barbeau being in it.
Yep.
I
yep,
just remember
she was.
her like the main one being in it, and
I
I
was
just
thinking of Ray Wise then.
He whoa, no, that's a
I
Black
don't
Widow
know.
guy.
I just always
Indiana
remember,
Jones, right?
huh?
Ray Wise.
No. Oh God, what was it he did?
Oh, I'm thinking Ray something Stone.
He
Ray
Uh,
Wise Stone or something.
Wait, I think Ray Wise.
Ray
might have-
Walston.
Wait,
So-
Ray Wise was, I think, in Swamp Thing. Ray Wise was Dr. Alec something. I can't read it. Dr.
Oh yeah, Alec Hardin was his alter ego before he turned into Swamp Thing.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
So
he does
Dick,
look
I guess
younger.
Dick Durock was the
Played
was
him
the
in the
body
Yeah,
double,
he was in the
The
Swamp
body
Thing
double.
suit. Yeah,
Okay.
and he was a stunt man. Okay, that makes
Yeah.
sense.
he was a lot bigger dude.
Yeah, I was gonna say that. Like, I remember that movie basically because the Adrian lady, she was in Cannonball Run,
Mhm.
so like I just knew her from that. And then I
Mhm.
remember the Swamp Thing. I always loved his design, but other than that, I didn't know much about the series at all.
Hmm.
And the movie cover looked cool.
Yeah, I remember that movie freaked me out too a little bit when I was little, but I was so little, and there were some horror elements to that just kind of them little half animal, half men people kind of freaked me out.
Yeah, I'd love. I still want to try to get a Michael Myers figure, especially from the new movie. But one I think would fall more along the Halloween theme. Would be from the Trick or Treat movie in 2007. The little Sam character. Do you remember that? I think they did make a figure of him.
Yeah, NECA made one.
NECA made one.
Yeah,
Mhm.
I remember that because I think you
that'd
can.
be-
No, I do know you could go into like Spirit Halloween, and they got the big mechanical one. with
Yeah.
the lollipop and everything.
Because he was a creepy little character, especially when well, the idea of his his weapons being like weaponized candy, there was the lollipop that was sharpened, stuff like that. That is just such a cool little making use of the tropes of Halloween, about people putting razors in your candy and stuff like that. Yeah, I love that. So yeah, I could that'd be a good one, Maybe
Yeah, that or like I would like to see maybe
Leprechaun.
like NECA or McFarlane get the rights to the Addams Family, like the '90s movie, and do
Oh.
a set of those with the house. I would love to have the house and the. Or, I mean, that'd be crazy to have the house. I would love to have it, but if I could get a set of the family, that would be great.
They'd have to do one Wednesday Addams by herself, so that you can have the separate head that has her doing the very creepy smile she does in Addams Family Values when she's,
Oh yeah, yeah. When they make her smile.
No, I was going to say you're crossing the streams if you don't mention Addams Family, because we went from Munsters to Addams Family.
Oh yeah, we did, didn't we?
I love the
I'm
monsters, and
sorry about
Rob Zombie is jumping in. He's making a new monsters movie. So,
Oh, are you kidding me?
but I mean, he's going all in. It looks like it's going to be true to the show because I mean, even to the point they made prosthetics for all the people. He was showing off everything. What I can compare it to is it's probably going to be like the Flintstones, like the live action Flintstones.
So it's not going to be like
Trailer trash.
no, like
It's I don't
They're
think
talking about bodily fluids and they look like they smell
Everybody-
bad.
I'm gonna say
No, I'm
white
just-
trash cursing every 5 seconds.
no. I'm saying I don't want it to be like horror movie. I want it to be like Monsters.
yeah, I think
I mean,
that
apparently he's a big fan.
yeah,
so-
apparently that's what I was hearing too. That it made me kind of not be as critical of the idea of him directing it because
That's why I think of the
he's-
first Flintstones movie because the
Yeah.
first Flintstones movie,
Yeah.
the guy that directed it's a Flintstones fanatic.
yeah. Well, I mean,
Yeah.
the problem I think with Rob Zombie is he's built a reputation over the years since he started directing. He's built a reputation over a couple things basically. Most of his characters are very white trashy people.
Mhm.
Very scum of humanity most of the time. Even like the Halloween characters. Like his version of Laurie. I think the only actual decent people was maybe Sheriff Brackett. In his version of the movie.
Mhm.
And so it's weird to think that, you know, how's he going to handle this, you know, when this is how he seems to just write everybody. You know, it's almost like, if he sees everybody this way and writes them this way, how is he supposed to handle the monsters? You know, are supposed to be kind of like a wholesome, funny commentary on the idea of like, I think it was made as a commentary on how people would treat people of other races moving into their neighborhood. You know, it was all that idea of like,
take
you know,
the race away and they're just monsters. They're like
or
monsters that we all know, like vampires.
It was like turning the idea on their head, because they treated it like they were scared of these people that were moving in. So let's say, okay, well, what would people really be scared of moving in? Monsters. You know, we got Frankenstein, you know, Wolf Boy, you know, you got them actually moving in. Let's see how people handle that, you know, and then so I think he can handle it. I'm curious to see how he does in the writing, where he has to restrain himself to not use use an F-bomb every like 5 minutes.
Well, I'm hoping he doesn't write it. I'm hoping somebody else.
Oh, I think he's writing it. I think he's writing it. I just know that he's kind of behind the whole thing. I don't know. I'm going to reserve judgment. I'm not a big fan, but I just know that from the way it's looking, he's at least putting in the effort. I said, it's going to be like a movie. Like a movie version, because like they have the prosthetics, he's building the house, like they've got the sets and everything. It looks like he's putting some effort into it. So I'm like, to me, it just gives me that Flintstones movie vibe, where they're kind of putting it all out there. So I'm sure people are gonna hate it. They're gonna be like, "Oh my god, I just watched a live action cartoon or something." But
I think he put out a picture showing part of the prosthetic for oh god, what's the dad's name? The Frankenstein Herman. Yeah, I think he showed part of the prosthetic
and the art
for their
and the art for their night clothes and stuff like that.
So and it looked straight out of the old series. You know, the what I saw, the shape of his head, of the prosthetic for the head, looked very faithful to the original. Is Sherry Moon Zombie in this?
I'm sure she's in everything.
I'm not sure if she's in it or not, but he's got this. Yeah, he's got a weird.
Probably.
He's got a. I mean, she's his wife. Of course, he's going to have an obsession with his own wife. But
But no, I'm ready to go. I'm ready to go Halloween trick or treating. Get me some candy. Or trunk or treat. Is that what we're gonna do? Trunk or treat with masks and spray.
I'm just ready to watch Halloween Kills. That's what I'm ready for.
No, that
next
is
week
gonna be good.
Next week. If you don't want to go to theaters, you can just drop $10 on Peacock and you can watch it there. So either way,
And what do you have to watch before that? I mean, is it just Halloween and Halloween 2?
Halloween. Just Halloween. You could really just watch that the reboot Halloween from 2018.
Yeah,
because it kind of fills in the story, but it's only a sequel to the very first movie. So if you watch the original Halloween and then watch the latest one and then this movie,
Halloween 2. Let's say the thing about Halloween 2 is Halloween 2 introduced the idea that Michael was Laurie's brother. That was never revealed into the second movie, and people kind of forget that. And I didn't realize it too until they kind of like said, "Oh yeah, that was never mentioned." Like, and that actually turned out to be something John Carpenter like was told to kind of put in, you know, or not told, but he had to come up with something to keep the story going. So he came up with this twist that, you know, she was his brother. That's why he's still coming after her, or he was her brother. But yeah, so it's just the idea is just that he was a prowler who traumatized. So you haven't seen the 2018 movie, Ashley?
No, I haven't.
So yeah, it's more of this idea that she was just traumatized by this event 40 years ago, and it really messed her up. And I can understand that trauma hits people hard in different ways. And you know, she watched three or four of her friends get butchered, you know, and she almost got killed herself. So you know, she became kind of like a obsessed survivalist, and you know. And she tells it herself, like she was waiting for the day that he would come out, you know, that he would break out. She, you know, she kept having this paranoia that he was going to come out and come after her again. And it ruined kind of her relationship with her daughter, and, you know, messed up her relationship with her granddaughter out because of that. So it's a great follow up, and it's got, like I said, it's got good themes, you know, the whole thing about generational trauma and stuff like that. But yeah, great movie. Danny McBride made a great horror movie.
Yeah,
he wrote.
Like basically, you take all of that.
He co-wrote it. Danny McBride co-wrote it.
Are you serious?
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, the guys behind this movie are like they're mainly known for comedy. Like that's their
David
strong.
Gordon Green.
That's their money. Yeah, David Gordon Green, Danny McBride, those kind of guys. They started with comedy, but this is them like they wanted to take a stab at doing the Halloween movies, like revitalize the franchise and be serious about it.
Oh yeah, and
so like he said, you take that real world drama, take all of that, and then and he does get out, and that's the movie.
Yeah, and like if you listen to Danny McBride interviews about it, he's serious about it. He doesn't, but he loved the idea that Michael was just this prowler. He chose some kids because they just, that was what that just like serial killers, they just choose people and just go for them. Sometimes they don't have an MO, and that's what he was doing. So it just kind of goes back to that idea of that's what's scary. You don't know his motives. His motives are just that he just wants to kill people. He's not going after his baby sister. He's not, no familial, no cult things that they
no supernatural stuff, nothing.
He's
it's
just
crazy.
He's a psychotic, burly serial killer.
So they took away all the demon stuff.
Yeah. He's just not a. He's just a. He's just a human.
It brings
monster.
back the mystery. Yeah, it's just a slasher movie. It's like a slasher movie built in realism, with real trauma. It's like he was saying, take all that trauma that was caused from the very first movie, and then you take all those what ifs, because we built to all the traumas based on what if he got out, and then you take all these years later, it's like he gets out. All right, how does this affect everybody? And so they already announced if they did this, if it was successful enough, they would make a trilogy of movies. And apparently it was good enough. They're like, do it. So it's going to be a trilogy of movies. So we got the first one. This is the middle movie, and there's going to be a
so they're
finale.
Not killing him in this movie, is what you're telling me.
The second,
I don't know. That's the way the first one is. It's like anything goes. So the way the movies are, who knows? I really don't know until we see it.
Yeah, you need to watch these. Actually,
that's what I'm saying.
I'd like to get your opinion on
it from
you. Yeah, after you watch them, I'd like to see what you think after you watch them. Like,
it's going to destroy him. If you don't tell him, his wife's going to be like, "Why are you up?" I just want to call him. I just want to call him. That's all. I just want to know what he's thinking. I'm just wondering what he's up to.
Did you watch it yet? Is it streaming somewhere?
Cloud.
Peacock. I think Peacock has it right now. I think Peacock still has it.
Is that a paid version of Peacock or?
That's a good question. I would have to look, but I can't. Now, if you want to watch Kills, like when it comes out next Friday,
I'm going to watch the one first.
Yeah. But I mean, if you do want to watch it after that, I think it will have to be the premium. But unless Austin's looking it up right now, it might be on the free version. I actually ended up buying like the digital version on Amazon like last year because it was on sale for like $7.99.
Yeah,
but it's. I mean, you've seen the original Halloween, haven't you?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah.
I've seen like Halloween 1, 2, 3. 3 more days till Halloween. 4, 5, 6, H2O. Yeah.
And then Resurrections, and then
I don't know. I think I stopped after H2O. I was like, oh, okay, here we go.
Oh
Josh.
Yeah, because H2O is pretty much H2O is kind of banking on the Scream.
Oh yeah,
yeah.
And I would say the great thing, Jamie Lee Curtis, like she had no plans to ever come back to the franchise after H2O, and I think it was apparently Jake Gyllenhaal that convinced her. She said, I think she said in an interview, like she talked with him because apparently he'd been talking with David Gordon Green maybe about Halloween stuff, and then I think he talked to her and he was like, "You should try this out. Go talk with him," And then she ended up talking with him, and then she's on board, because they did a great job with making fleshing Laurie out, as this. And she wasn't just a head case like she was in H2O. She is a head case still, but it's much more realistic. Like there's a scene where she wasn't invited to come meet her granddaughter's boyfriend. Like they're having a big dinner and they're kind of meeting their daughter's boyfriend for the first time. And then she just kind of shows up and because I think the granddaughter told her, and while she's there, she just kind of starts just drinking, and then she starts freaking out about Michael Myers because she hears that he's going to be like transferred, and she starts just like basically like causing a scene in the middle of the restaurant. It's just so sad to watch because she's just kind of falling apart.
She sounds like Sarah Connor.
a little,
Yeah,
a little
pretty
bit.
much. Like we got to.
Except she's not doing pull-ups. You know,
Yeah,
she's more
not
about just
yet.
like she's just more about like she just goes up to her gun range and just like shoots a bunch of mannequins,
Yeah.
which she does do. She like target practices all the time on her little like compound she's made.
It's got to be good.
Yeah.
Anyways, I think next week we'll come back with some more Halloween theme. Maybe we'll talk about like favorite Halloween toys we remember growing up. I feel like that'll be a good
Oh,
theme
yeah.
we can start
Maybe.
with.
Maybe
And,
actually we'll have watched the new Halloween by then.
And try to scare somebody if you can. Listeners too, you can try it. Just scare a loved
Make
one
sure-
and then tell us.
Well, make sure
how it
somebody you know
turned
because
out.
if you scare a stranger, you might get killed.
Yeah, don't scare strangers.
Don't scare
I
a
don't
stranger.
know if I think you just have to like use your good judgment. If you think he'll die, don't do it. But if you think it'll be funny, if you film it,
We're in South Georgia. If you scare somebody, you're probably going to get murdered over it.
Yeah, you're probably gonna get shot.
make sure that it's just good fun and use toys. Like make a toy theme. I don't know, like Chucky dolls and scaring people and stuff.
Just throw
I
a
don't
Chucky
know.
doll at them.
Yeah, just throw Chucky dolls and film it and send it to us. All right. Peace out, everybody. What?
Maybe
That toy life. To catch these ghosts, you need the real Ghostbusters.
Nice landing, Han Solo.
Spaceships and Luke Skywalker sold separately. Batteries not included.
That toy life.